UFC 305, Plessis versus Adesanya, full card, quick pick predictions. We're going to make our way from the first prelim of the night to the main events. Dricus Plessis versus Israel Adesanya, very, very fast in about 10 minutes or so. But if you do want to see all the bets that I am going to be making for this entire UFC pay-per-view, it is $1.25 per UFC fight card. So very, very cheap when you consider some people are selling them for like $20 a card. Insane prices, but check it out. Top link in the description down below or in that pinned comment. We're going to get started with this banger at 125 pounds. It's not that good. But Stuart Nickel versus Jesus Aguilar. I do have Stuart Nickel winning this fight, mixing in the takedowns and not getting submitted by Jesus Aguilar. That's the main thing everyone's saying is Jesus got a great guillotine. Sure, if you can defend the guillotine during practice, during training camp, and just, defend it, not get caught with the one signature move, you should be good to go on Jesus. Keep the striking even, get the takedowns, don't get freaking submitted. Stuart Nickel should win this fight on the scorecards. I don't see him finishing Jesus, although Jesus has been finished before in 2 of his losses, both by submission in round number 1 to Gabriel Valdez in his debut in Tatsuro Taira as well. I don't think Nickel is really like a super good submission type of a guy. I think he's going to control it on the ground, keep his undefeated record intact, and win a unanimous decision. Ricky Glenn, Kenan Song. I'm going to go Kenan Song. He is bigger. He's the natural welterweight, where Ricky Glenn is coming up from the lightweight division to welterweight. He is older. He's getting knocked out left and right recently. I do believe Kenan Song should go out there and either knock out Kenan or knock out Ricky Glenn in the early rounds, or just outstrike and completely landing the bigger strikes and winning a unanimous decision. Tom Nolan, Alex Reyes at 155 pounds. Tom is a better fighter. He's younger. He's more in shape. He's taller. His length. All that good stuff. Alex is a finisher as well. He has all 13 wins by finish. Tom Nolan, I believe, is kind of the same way, but he has 2 wins by decision very, very early on in his MMA career. I don't see this fight going all the way. Should the odds be this big? No, that's crazy. But I do have Tom Nolan going out there, getting the TKO win. Round 1, round number 2. I mean, I can't really decide on if it's going to be round 1 or round 2, but end of round 1, beginning of round 2. Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns at 145 pounds. Gonna go Jack Jenkins on this one. Herbert is a quitter. He has a horrible gas tank. After round number 1, after round number 2, he just stops doing stuff, and he really starts to shell up and eat punches and fold under that pressure and wilt under that pressure. I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. Maybe he will have a good first round like he does most of the time. He goes out there very good, gets the back, tries to submit his opponent, ground and pound a little bit. Then when he's not successful, he gets murdered. So I think Jack Jenkins will survive that early onslaught and win in the later rounds. Little Jack Jenkins, round 2 TKO. Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos at flyweight. I got Luana Santos losing this fight. I got the underdog in Casey O'Neill, mixing in offensive takedowns on Luana Santos and controlling. I believe Luana's got better jiu-jitsu. She might have better judo, but Casey's got the better wrestling, the better top control. And if she does not get submitted, which is, not a confident thing for me to say, as she is coming off a submission loss, but I would have to say she's not going to get submitted. Control the fight on the ground. She is the hometown girl in Perth, Western Australia. I know she's from Scotland, but who cares? I do believe she'll control it on the ground. The striking is pretty even. I don't necessarily think either girl is way better than the other, but I think that wrestling and control will get Casey the win. And, of course, some ground and pound. Josh Culibao, Ricardo Ramos. I think this is going to be a striking fight. If Ricardo is able to mix in takedowns, I'll probably go him to get the win. For the most part, I expect this fight to stay on the feet. I think Josh Culibao is the more voluminous. I don't know how to say that. He throws more volume is what I'm trying to say there. Josh throws more volume, lands with more volume. I believe punches a little bit harder than Ricardo, where Ricardo might land the spinning elbows and stuff a little bit harder than Josh, but I think this fight goes all the way. Ricardo, I don't really remember the last time he was knocked out. He has been knocked out before, but it's been a while. TKO lost to Lerone Murphy, and then he knockout lost to Said Nurmagomedov. So it's been a while. I don't think this fight is going to end inside the distance. I got Culibao decision. Junior Tafa, Valter, Walker. I really want to say Junior Tafa by knockout round 1, round 2, but I have it going all the way. I'm praying for a Tafa knockout here, but I got it going all the way. I think Tafa loses round 1, wins round 2, wins round 3 after Valter gets gassed out from wrestling in round 1. He's not going to be able to get the takedowns due to the sweat and the his gas tank just being horrible. I got Junior Tafa winning those later rounds and winning on the scorecards. Jingliang, Li, and Carlos Prates in the welterweight division. I got Carlos winning. He's taller, he's lengthier. He is in the prime of his MMA career. I think Jingliang Li, whether he's on the front foot or the back foot coming forward or going backwards, Carlos is going to be landing more strikes. He's going to be landing the harder strikes on Li Jingliang. One thing I don't understand is everybody is really predicting a Carlos Prates knockout. Why? I don't know. I go down and look at his entire career. Everybody that's gone out there and found a way to beat Jingliang Li, none of them have knocked him out. None of them have really even been close to knocking him out. In fact, he is knocking out everyone, and nobody is knocking out him. He's got 10 knockout wins, 0 knockout losses. I got this fight going all the way in what could be the fight of the night of UFC 305. I got Carlos Prates by a unanimous decision. Tai Bam Bam versus Jairzinho. Simple prediction here. I think Tai is going to come forward. Jairzinho is going to go backwards and counter Tai as he comes in with big shots. Tai will get inside the distance, maybe land a little bit on Jairzinho, but I think he's going to eat so much coming in, and eventually it's going to be enough is enough. Jairzinho is going to catch him with a good counter punch as Tuivasa comes in. And let's go round number 1, round number 2. I'm leaning more towards round 2. I think it'll be a little bit later in this fight. Mateusz, Gamrot, Dan Hooker. I got Gamrot winning a decision. Oh, shocker prediction there. It's what everyone's kind of predicting here, but Dan Hooker, the last time he was finished was Islam Makhachev by submission, of course. Mateusz Gamrot is only way to really finish would probably be a submission. I don't really think he has crazy power, although I think he knocked down Arman Tsarukyan with like a spinning thing. But that's the only time he's really been submitted in the UFC. The other time was 2012. So other than that, Dan isn't getting submitted. And Gamrot, if he's going to win by finish, I would say it would be a submission. I wouldn't really say that he's going to go out there and TKO him. He does have a few TKOs in the later rounds, round 2, round 3. But I think the fact that he's really not able to knock out most guys inside of the UFC. I know he has a few. He's not going to knock out Dan Hooker on the feet. He's going to be shooting takedowns, looking for the submission. That'd be the way he gets the finish. But I got to go on all the way. And Gamrot wrestling and grappling. I think he'll get hurt at least once in this fight and lose a round. So 29-28 for Mateusz Gamrot. Erceg, Kara France. I got Erceg by unanimous decision here. I think he's the better counter puncher. He's taller, he's lengthier. Kai's just going to walk into a lot of counters. And whenever Kai does finally find that range, close that distance, and is about to land some big shots on Steve Erceg, that's where I think Steve's going to be like, okay, I just outstruck you a little bit, just countered you. And now you finally found your range. Boom, takedown. Steve Erceg's going to win it with the wrestling, with the grappling on the ground. So I got Steve Erceg by a unanimous decision. Adesanya du Plessis, my other underdog of the card. My first one was Casey O'Neill. Junior Tafa was, but his odds have flipped. He was the underdog when I first originally predicted him. Now he's the favorite, so it's unfortunate we only have 2 underdogs on this card. Du Plessis is my other underdog. I do have him going out there and winning a very close 48-47 controversial decision. I think he will drop Adesanya at one point in this fight. He will get countered a lot and lose 2 rounds because of it, but he'll close those distance, land those big shots, drop Adesanya, and I think the key factor here, mix in the takedowns. I got Du Plessis by unanimous decision. That is it for the full card. Quick pick predictions, UFC 305. We got underdogs, Du Plessis and Casey O'Neill with favorites, Stuart Nicole, Kenan Song, Tom Nolan, Jack Jenkins, Josh Culibao, Junior Tafa, Carlos Prates, Jairzinho, Rozenstruik, Dan Hooker to lose. So we got Gamrot. And then, of course, Steve Erceg. Make sure to like and subscribe. Do all that cool stuff. Comment your predictions down below. And if you do want to see all the bets that we are making for this card, again, $1.25. Very cheap for all of my UFC 305 bets. So link down below in the description or pinned comment. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.